All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. With me, as usual, is Colts Loyalist. And today, hey, it's Victory Sunday? What?
Yeah,
That's,
right.
That's an interesting way of saying things. That's a rare thing to say. Next week, we might have a Victory Saturday. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? The Indianapolis Colts defeat the Minnesota Vikings on the road in Minneapolis, 12-10. Not a single offensive touchdown scored that entire game by either team. The only touchdown coming off a pick six that Sam Ehlinger threw. So I want to thank everyone that's in here. Joe Schmidt, what's up? Appreciate you being in here. I'm going to be fair and honest with everybody, all right? I set this stream up earlier, like hours ago, right? And I didn't share it on any of my social media. I was just like, you know what? I'll see who's paying attention. Who's going to come in and say hi, It's a Sunday. There's probably a game plan. I see Alpha decided to, he was paying attention as well. But in all honesty, oh, look at that. TJ Joe in here already. Nice, with a $3 super chat. Thank you so much. Let's see if we got... Yeah, here I am. I got these darn super chats. I don't know if they actually... No, it's... Dude, if you want to say or ask something, let me know, all right? Because $3 will get you a question or a comment jumped up here. But I appreciate the money in the tip jar. There is a link in the description right at the top up here. I'd appreciate it if you're able to use that, please use that instead. That'll help the donations come into me a little bit better, money-wise, percentage-wise. YouTube takes over half of any donations that's dropped in. But Simon Kirsch, what's up? KDC City's in here. But anyhow, so about an hour and a half ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a little me time. I already did a whole bunch of recording. I did that recording earlier with Loyalist and stuff. And I sat down and I was like, I'm going to play some Civilization 6 on my computer. And I started playing, and then next thing you know, I look up, it's 5:45. I was like, oh, crap. I got to get ready. Oh, man.
And in Colts fashion, you sit there and you unplug for a minute, and all of a sudden, news break, release, and all this information that we'll probably be getting into.
Absolutely.
Don't let your guard down.
Super Aliens 86 says, these guys are awesome. Drop some more super chats. Dude, you're awesome just for even suggesting that. Thank you so much. So today, man, great day. We get to sit back and think about, there's some things that, we come away from that game and we're a little worried about, obviously. Our offense was not exactly tip-top shape like what we was hoping, especially coming out of that Carolina game. But boy, did our defense look good.
Yeah,
defense look good.
Just like last year. If one performs, the other one, or if one falls a little short, the other one picks up the slack. I guess that's what makes football awesome, isn't it? It just takes a balance of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if the Colts hadn't had the kind of pressure and sacks and just coverage that they had defensively, we would have been blown out.
Yeah, that along with the special teams play. How many times did we, shoot. Our special teams basically inched us, gave us a little leeway to work offensively. It's like, okay, we're on the 5. And now we're on the 10 after the change of possession. So they just kept waiting for the offense to wake up, and finally they decided in the fourth quarter, okay, we'll just go ahead and win this thing.
Oh, Super Alien. Who'd be a better baseball pitcher, Eason or Ehlinger? I think they both have a nice fastball. Oh, I'm not even going to respect that with a comment. I'll just read it out for you because that was pretty funny. All right. But man, honestly, we were talking about we wanted to see some of these pressures turn into sacks, and we ended up having a couple. But oh my gosh, we had like 2 sacks and like 950 pressures. I think Ben Banigou himself had so many pressures that they had to use two notebooks to keep track of them. It was ridiculous. Ben Banigou legitimately did not register a sack yesterday. Can you believe that? He had a couple that slipped through his hands. He had that fumbled handoff, which the quarterback then fell down on top of, and then Banigou dropped on him. That's not a sack. You know, that's a TFL, and that was listed as a TFL. But he had to have like at least, I counted 3 quarterback hits. They're saying there was only 1. He had 1 quarterback hit where he wrapped him up and wasn't able to bring him down. The quarterback got away, you know. And then there was another one where he reached in and he slapped him. So that's 2 that I remember right off the top of my head. Ben was a monster yesterday, KDC City says. He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Wasn't it also Ben who was bringing the quarterback down, and then like at the very last second he just sort of flung it out off to the right side, and then you see the receiver just bust and bud just to even make it to where it wasn't intentional grounding? I mean, you know, wasn't that also Banigou?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so there's 3.
The one where Kellen Mond scrambled up the gut, and then out of nowhere, Ben Banigou comes streaming in. He hit him from behind, but because they fell forward, it's counted as a tackle. But I mean, it was pressure. He was forced out of that pocket, buddy. There was a ton of them, a ton of pressures. Jordan, what's up, my guy? Kenner necked. I think I pronounced that right. Do you think Ryan Kelly will play against the Lions or just keep him on the sidelines till week 1? I think we keep his butt on the sidelines. We do not start. Even if he, first off, it's limited practice this week, at least starting out tomorrow, right? That's what I'm understanding for Kelly.
No, the way I understand it, Kelly's going to go full practice, and Quentin and Carson are the ones with the limited. That's the way I understood it. Yeah.
See, I thought they were going to ease Kelly in a little bit because of that injury of his elbow. But either way, I don't see him playing. I mean, he's been in the NFL long enough. Make sure that he's set, you know. I don't need to see him getting hurt against the Lions in a preseason game. Colts have won 2 preseason games. All right, that's enough. We can lose 1. I'm okay. You know what? I get it. I like winning games, but at the same time, things generally don't seem to go a team's way when they go undefeated in a preseason. You know? I mean, it's the truth. The Ravens have been undefeated for like the last 6 years straight in preseason. How has that worked out for them? You know?
I don't think Peyton Manning and Tony Dungy won more than 2 in their entire career as far as preseason games.
And they played 4 every year. Yeah. So it is what it is. I'm not worried about rankings either, Super Alien. Let all these people like downplay the Colts. Let them downplay them, right? That's the way I see it. Oh, their offense isn't that good. You know, they're like the 25th ranked offense in the NFL. Then week 1's going to come around and they're going to be like, I don't have any place to put this feces that just came out of me. Oh man, I'm telling you, I'll take poor rankings early. You know, it's what you show anyhow at the end of the season, right? That's when you want to be, you know, on your roll and everything clicking. You know, get to about mid to late season. That's when you want to see that going in. I don't care if they're ranked 15th. I think they'll be ranked higher than 15 walking into the season, but you know, any less than that, and it'd be disrespectful. But
well, I mean, and I don't know if anybody's been paying much attention to this top 100 though. I mean, they got Quentin at what was it, 33 or something, and they had Darius at 37. I'm like, if they're underestimating these 2 fellas, I mean, that badly, because I would have to say that they're both. I would say Quentin's got to be at least top 15 in the league. You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Well, you
Now I
also
know
got.
he's a
I mean,
guard.
yeah, that's the issue. Well,
I
I
know,
mean, they
but
had what Bakhtiari just like 1 or 2 steps in front of him, and he's like possibly the best tackle in the NFL. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's offensive line. Darius Leonard's an off-ball linebacker. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, we had more players on that top 100 than what people were saying we were going to have. And so just be happy with that.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's just something that I couldn't believe when I even saw him. They said that Nelson was the highest rated O lineman in this year's edition at 33. There you go. I mean,
See, that's just I'm sorry, but there's a bunch of interior linemen and just linemen in general, offense, defense, and it's like, come on, guys. Could you imagine? I mean, we've seen this game played when you don't have an offensive line. Why did they? I'm a big hog molly myself, so I guess I just get a little irritated by the fact that they sit there and they couldn't do it without us, but yet whenever they're amazing like Quentin is, they just sort of overlook it also.
Well, you also got to remember, I mean, these are NFL players and coaches voting on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't some kind of fan thing or, nothing like that. Article writers ain't doing, this is guys who play against these people. Those are the ones that are voting.
See,
So,
to me, that means that they should rank him higher than, what?
Well, I'm sure there's defensive linemen that's going to rank him way up there. But how many wide receivers are going to be like, Quentin Nelson's a beast? They don't know. They never play against him,
Yeah.
How often is Patrick Mahomes going to be like, man, Quentin Nelson's nasty? I'm sure he would say that because, he's an offensive lineman. He's a quarterback and all that neat stuff. But, I mean, he's going to have something to say against people that he's playing against, like cornerbacks and, pass rushers and things like that. Whereas Quentin Nelson, the only guys that's really going to say a whole lot is your interior, defensive linemen and, your inside linebackers. The guys
and your running backs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the running backs for the Colts.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, the Colts guys will probably rank him way up there, but, anyone outside the
better.
Colts organization. Yeah, they don't. There's something wrong. But yeah, Jordan says Q should be in the top 15, period. And I'm not saying he shouldn't. I'm just saying the opportunity to be voted there is not very high because, the people that would be voting for him that play against him, there aren't that many people, out there in the league. So,
and in all honesty, I mean, Quentin gets a lot of love from the media, even in the national platform. So I guess we just have to take it. I mean, we want our guys to always be what they mean to us. You know what I mean?
What's up, Ross, with the donation in the jar? Yeah, $3. What's going on, Ross? I don't see you in the chat, but you're in the super chat. Thank you so much for using the link right here. He says, thoughts on Justin Fields, welcome to the NFL. God needs to strap that helmet on a little better. Well, he wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only quarterback that had that. I don't know if you watched the Colts game, but when Jacob Eason did his quarterback sneak, and he just disappeared in the pile and then reappeared on the other side of the pile like 4 yards down the 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, and his helmet was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. It was like, dude, and had he not fell down, there was open room in front of him. He could have just went, but I wouldn't have wanted to without a helmet on,
And I'll tell you what, the difference between, Jacob, you could see that it was sort of pulled off of his head. Let's be honest. Justin had that thing removed by energy. I mean, he got smoked on that play. I mean, I seen that and I was just like, I was thinking to myself, wonder how slow he thinks things are now.
Right.
I mean, they
it's
brought
slow until my head's ringing. Jordan asked about Braden Smith being ranked. No, he wasn't. But Ryan Kelly was. And he was ranked pretty good up there, too. So, To have Quentin, we had 2 offensive linemen on the top 100. That's at least some respect. You know what I'm saying? So,
Do you know if Fisher made it?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't catch it all. You know, I'm catching the Colts players, and I'm sure he would have come across the Chiefs feed there.
Yeah, I don't think he did, because he's a Colts player now, so he would be listed as a now if he was. I don't think he was. He made the Pro Bowl last year before he got hurt, but I don't think he made the top 100. You could make the Pro Bowl and not be top. Jack Doyle's been to the Pro Bowl a couple times, has never even sniffed the top 100. You know.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean Kelly Leonard, DeForest Buckner, Big Q's what Super Alien says. That's 4 Colts on the top 100. That's respectful. You know, that's 25%. You know, or yeah, that situation. You know,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take that all day. Jonathan Taylor might be in it. I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think he did enough early in the year to make that, and plus he's only in his first year.
Well,
you know,
second
so
year now, but yeah, that was his first year.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So they don't like to show that much love.
Yeah, rookies have to have something stupid happen before they get in there, man. I mean, they gotta like lead the NFL in everything, unless you're a quarterback. You know,
Yeah.
Now, you do okay as a quarterback, you might make the top 100, but outside of that, Chase Young, I'm sure made it, you know, as a rookie. But actually, I remember seeing him. He was mid to late Chase was, but I mean, look at the year he had. You know, at pass rush. I mean, he was just a stud out there. So, hold on. But yeah, I don't know about you, but I watched that game yesterday, and I was just shocked by what I was watching defensively.
As far as from the Colts and with the pressures and stuff that they were putting out?
Yeah, and Sasheri.
Oh,
I had to remember Sasheri. S-A. Sasheri is how it's pronounced. Or Sasheri. That's it.
Sasheri.
Sasheri. That's how it's pronounced. Because I asked a family member of his on Twitter how to phonetically pronounce it. And it's Seshare. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then the funny thing was the first time I've heard the coach announce his name was in today's presser. So I'm sitting there thinking, at least you got it from a source that's biologically related. So
Right.
By the way, you're going to have to make sure you don't flash that cup today because you had a source. You did have a source.
No, it's not a source, dude.
Okay.
All right, man. So I saw a tweet earlier by a Minnesota Vikings reporter saying that, that the interior offensive line did not give up a single pressure the entire night. And I was like, so what you're telling me is your tackles got their butts whooped, right? Because there was a lot of pressures on your quarterbacks that game, and yeah, that's exactly what happened. Did you order the code red, Joe? I drink a lot of code red. All right, but I like Mountain Dew. I can't help it. I mean, that's the thing when I was growing up. Do you still like that we got Quiddy over Phillips? I still like Phillips. You know, I mean, I liked Phillips more than I liked Quiddy. I thought Phillips was more NFL ready, but he's with the Dolphins now, and good luck to him. But my support is behind Quiddy Pay. You know, and he did all right. He got stonewalled quite a few times, but there was a lot of times where he beat that left tackle like I'm not going to say. Because I want to stay monetized. But you know what I'm saying, all right? And he did a good job that game. Brandon Wood, what's up, man? Sorry you're a little late. Dude, you made it. That's all that matters, you know? I consider all of us friends here. I mean, every day I let you guys into my house and sit here and we talk, just talk and hang out, all right? So friends can come in whenever they want. Just, you know, make
Like
sure.
your feet.
Yeah. BYOB, though, all right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. What's up, Mark? Patton in the house. Appreciate each and every one. You're 21 minutes in, man. Guys, please smash that like button. Please, it helps the analytics. It gets this out here shared so that more people, YouTube will be like, oh, look, this is liked by somebody. We'll go share it with other people. So please smash that like button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, tag that notification bell, turn all notifications on so that you're notified next time I go live or upload a video. Ah, man, that was fun. I'm watching Log Dog just cleaning the house at the same time. Ah, okay. Cleaning the house. I know what that's like. I just haven't done it in a couple days.
So I got a question for you, Law.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we know the young man's name now, Sasha. Okay, and we've often discussed, you know, the streak that the Colts have with undrafted free agents. Do you think that Sasha is now the lead candidate, or do you think that he will help us?
He's not an
continue?
undrafted free agent.
He's not.
No. He's been in the league since 2018, but he's only been a
Lord.
practice squad guy. He's been
That's
bouncing practice squad since 2018, guys.
That's right.
He was drafted by the Texans as he was grabbed by the Texans as an undrafted free agent. Yes. And he's been to the Cardinals, I think Miami, and then back to the Cardinals, and then the Indianapolis Colts picked him up last year and had him on the practice squad last year. And
that's right. I remember Flus even mentioning how this kid was like 90 snaps during. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. He said Flus said that he has last year he was playing all the time. You know, out there helping out. So I think Andre's going to make the team. I think he's going to make the 53, and I think he's got a real shot at that. Brandon says, for sure, pay was definitely getting doubled a bunch from what I saw. Seemed like the Vikings had it out for our edges on both sides of the ball. And how'd that work out for them? You know, now, to be fair, the Colts sent a few blitzes here and there. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I mean, your Sasha, he came in on one, and looked like they compare him to Kenny Moore and stuff, which I wouldn't quite go that far yet. But yeah, we saw that from him, and we saw Okereke and just the linebackers in general, especially there in the third and fourth quarter, they were mixing it up a lot. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. And we were talking vanilla defenses. Well, I'm sure it was vanilla, but generally blitzes aren't considered vanilla. You don't generally blitz in preseason, or at least that's not a Reich thing, you know. Now, Eberflus wasn't at this game, so it was the safeties coach, I think it was, that was doing the defense for this game. So that could explain why there was more like safety blitzes and stuff. I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there, you know.
And I also wonder how much of that is, you know, coordinated between the two teams so they can get a better look at, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, Minnesota was saying, hey, coach, call this defense or anything. But I just wonder, you know, do they sit there and say, okay, we'd like to get this look or whatever if you find the chance type of thing?
Oh, I'm sure
they
do.
Yeah, I would think so because, I mean, it seems like there's that mutual camaraderie or whatever, even through teams.
Oh, yeah, they talk and stuff. Hold on just a second. Back! Quit that dumb shit. My female cat, I have a water bowl, and it's a dog bowl, all right? A big silver dog bowl with a rubber bottom. And I thought, well, the rubber bottom will help keep them from, you know, because you know how cats like to move stuff around. And she'll put her whole back into it, you know, and move the whole, and then water sloshes everywhere, and I just want to grab something and throw it at her. Uh, but KDC City says, is EJ Speed bad yet? And then he corrected himself and said back yet. Because I was sitting there staring at that bad yet, dude, and I was like,
bad to the bone? What's he?
I don't. He did play a little bit yesterday. EJ, what'd you see from EJ?
I'll be honest with you. When it came to the linebackers, I was really watching Okereke yesterday. I was just trying to see what he did. I was sort of, I guess I expected it, but I was sort of hoping to see a little bit of Dalvin Cook just to see what our run D looked like and stuff. But I mean, I don't even, like I said, I don't even really remember noticing him at all. So I can't honestly answer that one.
He played a few snaps. As a matter of fact, I can tell you exactly how many. I remember Franklin and Adams a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me look at the box score here and go to our defense. And there's my defense. Adams had himself a game. 4 total tackles. Franklin had 2 total tackles. But like we say, box scores ain't everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speed is not on the list, so he must have not been doing too much. But I do remember seeing him out there. I mean, I think I remember seeing him out there, but he just nothing really flashes in my head. But yeah. Well, crap, man. So the Colts defense held this team to 156 yards passing. 156 yards passing. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Again, they're not able to get turnovers, which is what they're supposed to be doing. Defense is supposed to be getting turnovers.
40 to be exact.
Yeah. And so far, they ain't got any. Through 2 games, but, it's preseason. But yeah, no interceptions, but they gave up no touchdowns. Only 156 through the air. On 34 pass attempts. As a team, they were 50% passing. You think the Colts were bad? At least the Colts were over 50% passing percentage, or completion percentage. Geez.
Even Sam was above that, wasn't he? Wasn't Sam somewhere around 60s?
Yeah. Jacob obviously started off pretty bad and missed a bunch early on, but then I think he finished off 14 of his last 18 passes were completed. So
yeah, I think he got in the low 70s. So as far as completion percentage, it was respectable.
I am impressed, to be honest, with our team in general on defense, and to understand that like the Vikings guys, they're all so hard on their offense, and I was like, don't be so hard on your offense. All right, you were playing against a really darn good defense, right? I mean, not just starters, like depth. We have a really good deep defense, and they did show some things. Kellen Mond showed some stuff against us. He broke free of some sacks, got away from some pressures, did a lot of nifty. I liked what I saw from Kellen Mond more than I liked what I saw from Sam Ellinger. But that's me. Brandon Wood. Anyone notice Blackman? Dude was all over the field while he was out there the first quarter and a half. Well, yeah, I saw Blackman. Absolutely, I saw Blackman.
Yeah, that's his style. I mean, he covers, from the line of scrimmage all the way back.
Company Eagle says that Ben was being held a lot, and I mean, I highlighted that in one of my clips that I was posting during the game. I was like, watch what happens here. Ben literally tries to disengage with this tackle and move backwards, away from him, and couldn't do it because the tackle had a hold of him and wouldn't let him, break away from him. And then, and no flag. Was there holding call ever in that whole game? I don't think I heard one holding call. There was other calls, but I don't remember a holding. I remember some pass interference stuff and things of that nature. The O-line didn't play well. The Colts O-line played fine. I thought the Colts O-line played really well. Eason had a lot of time out there, at least, for his spot.
I mean, a couple of the really big, glaring, not good plays were from, Lewinsky and Reed. I mean, that Ellinger interception, Lewinsky just got set into Ellinger's lap. And then I don't know what happened on this one where Reed, it was like, I don't know what he was looking at. He was playing a different game that play.
Yeah. KDC City, yes, Toure is dealing with a slight injury, but it's nothing serious, and he'll be back. He'll probably play this weekend against the Lions, because had it been a game, I think he would have played. Had it been a regular season game, I think he could have played. They just, whenever you have a nick or a bump, they don't want you to play in a preseason game. They want you to get fully healthy.
Especially when it's the shoulder, and that, you got to you use your shoulder to do the tackling. So
yeah, exactly. And Tina says, I hate that Sachare ended the game with a concussion. Hope that doesn't hurt his chances making the team. I don't think it will. I think he's put out enough already these past, 2 games and the last, honestly, 2 or 3 weeks of practice that I think he's going to make the 53. And it's going to be hard decisions because we got Odom out there too, who's a, all-pro special teamer. And, we got, a 5th-round rookie that, So, are we keeping 5 safeties?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't forget we got Davis from Pittsburgh. I
know.
There's,
but Sachare is showing a lot of explosion out there on the field, and kind of similar to last year, when Blackman first came onto the field, that kind of had a very similar feel to him, with how they were doing it. Number 91 is Isaac Rochelle, KDC City. So let you know that.
Yeah, he's been. Do you think he'll make it?
Isaac?
Yeah. I know you were less higher on him than I was at the beginning.
If he does, it'll be a tackle. I don't think he'll make it as an... Well, yeah, he might make it as an end, but I don't think he's going to be at the top of the pecking order. You get what I'm saying?
No, I understand. Yeah.
I know that Zach Hicks don't like him at all, but he showed he's showed stuff out there in preseason. He's played pretty good. He had one bad play last week, and he played pretty good this week. He had a couple pressures of his own, you know. So, and a really good stuff, on a run. Speaking of the run, let's talk about how the Colts did it against the run. They gave up. Now, Abir Abdullah, he ran his butt off. That first running back that came out there, boy, did he run well. Right? He ripped off a couple really big runs against us, and it made me a little bit worried. He had like 6 carries, 35 yards. That's 7 yards a carry, guy. And long is only 9. So you think about that. 7 yards a carry, and his long was 9. That means he was consistently hitting 5, 6, 7, 8 yard runs, And then the rest of the guys, Kirk Cousins, of course, scrambled for 9 yards. Mond had 3 scrambles for 8 yards. C.J. Ham had a carry for 9 yards. It wasn't very good, I didn't think. A.J. Rose Jr., who was out there late, against our, 3rd, 4th string defense. Yes, he was held to like 1.4 yards a carry. Okay, 6 carries, 10 yards. But everybody else was running really well against us, and that is a scary thought, man, because generally we had the number 2 run defense in the NFL last year. when we had, Autry and Houston and Anthony Walker Jr. And I said this before, this could be a part if Bobby Okereke can't step in and fill that Mike role. And the Mike is supposed to be a run stopper. Everybody's like, oh, he's better against the pass, but the Mike is your middle of the pack run stopper on a defense, especially. And if Bobby is letting guys slip through him or getting caught up in the wash trying to get to a guy, that's not a good sign. And I need to look at the film. I haven't watched the film yet. But I think you told me that, you was watching Bobby and you seen a lot of that stuff going on.
Yeah, and there was a few times where he was there to make the play, but he didn't wrap the guy up, or the guy got loose, and which I guess, I'm not sure exactly how much his role changed yesterday with Darius not being in there, and and how much did that change how he performed out there. So and there's that question too, because you lose Leonard, you're losing a big safety net for you, where you can gamble a little bit more in those run plays. But yeah, like you said, we saw him get caught up in the wash a couple times, or if he was there to make the play, he wasn't able to bring the player down. So still got some things to tighten up there, but all in all, I think we'll be okay. I believe that, they've seen enough from him over the last couple of years, obviously, to be comfortable enough to let Anthony go. And like you've said, it wasn't due to finances that they let Anthony walk. So.
Yep. All right, guys, if you have any question or comments, make sure you drop them in the chat. If you want to make sure I get to your question or comment, go ahead and use this donation tip button right down here, and you can drop in that question or comment, and I will get to it immediately. But right now, I want you guys to know that Loyalist and I are on Newsbreak. So go check out this app, man. The link is in the description of the video, and just by downloading the app, you help support us financially. So, and it's a free to use app. So go check it out. What's that? Oh, there it is. This video is sponsored by Newsbreak. Newsbreak is an app used over 1.5 billion times a month by people just like you to get local news via articles or videos by those who are focused on that specific area. People like myself. Just use the link in the description of this video to download it. Then search a city, state, or someone specific, like myself, Colts Law. Then make sure to follow them so you'll get all the news fresh as it comes out. Also, guys, don't forget, I do have a merch shop, and I've had a couple people buy a few things as of late. But I got some really cool stuff, and I need to update this this ad that I have for my merch shop. But yeah, it's in the link down here. But here's the ad for my merch shop. I got to try to make money while I'm here, right? Make sure to check out the Colts Law merch shop. The link is in the description of this video. There are a ton of high quality, reasonably priced items there that you can choose from. And all you got to do is just click one button and you can go and check out all these great merchandise items. Yes, Company Eagles. Rock Ya-Sin looked pretty good yesterday. There was a couple plays where he was literally a blanket. Like you said, that first real play could have been flagged as pass interference, though. They were at the top of the route. They were 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, which is just outside of that where you could touch and pull range. And he had touched him so many times. He could have been hit for pedoing. It was bad. All right. It was bad. But at the same time, there was no pulling, right? He didn't grab and pull and things of that nature,
Didn't change his... Yeah, didn't change to where he was going and stuff.
Exactly.
Sorry.
He was all over him, man. Oh.
And also, guys, listen, just want to mention to you guys that Lawrence got a good piece of new information. He's going to be filling this seat with somebody much uglier or much smarter, I mean, and badder than I am. And
oh no, not that seat. Not that seat.
Well, he's going to be your co-host. Is my point. You know,
but not here.
I know, but on Believe in podcast. Go ahead.
All right, I guess I could go shout that out. I shouted it out yesterday, but so if you weren't here yesterday and didn't see, so I'm the new host of Believe in Colts podcast, and tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern Standard, I'll be having a meeting with my co-host of the Believe in Colts podcast. And that co-host happens to be Indianapolis Colts All-Pro linebacker DeQuell Jackson. Or not All-Pro, but Pro Bowl linebacker DeQuell Jackson. You might have heard of him. I think he's that guy that said, this football seems a little flat to me.
But what he failed to tell him was that was just after he squeezed it.
Yeah, that was like,
I think this isn't quite regulation.
What is this? Flip-flopping around. He squeezed the ball and he's like, is this regulation? No, it's all good, man. Company Eagle says Sam's second interception was definitely PI'd by the Vikings. No. That was all on Sam Ehlinger. I mean, that entire interception was all on Sam. First off, he stared at the wide receiver. And secondly, his windup, like he stared at him and made such a slow windup that corner broke on the pass. That's what he was doing. And you're allowed to break on the pass, right? You're allowed to break on the, you're allowed to make contact with a guy as long as you're going after the football. And that's exactly what he was doing, and that's what happened. And he stared at him the whole time. He had a slow wind up, slow release. The ball moved through the air too slow. And he telegraphed that the whole way. And, that was on Sam, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
See, and that's exactly how I felt about it. I mean, I know I listened to Coach's presser today, and he said that the receiver didn't run quite the right route, or
he went a little deeper than normal. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, to me, just the telegraphing part. I mean, because he did not stop staring at. I mean, I knew where that pass was going.
Yeah.
And I'm not a trained professional, so yeah, I like you said, I felt like and I understandably so. I felt like the coach was sort of, shedding that one a little bit, and not to mention the receiver was Doolin, who has only had 3 practices. I mean, he's been out with his injury and stuff for the last almost 2 weeks. So, they just don't have.
Yeah, Doolin is in a bad situation with the way Patman has been playing. So.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, Doolin's biggest saving grace was his special teams performance. But now, I mean, not just Patman, but Patman and Strawn both are showing that they're both valuable pieces to that special teams.
Yeah.
So once you take away that advantage, I think that puts Doolin in a much, much more precarious type of situation.
I completely agree. And I think from here on out, I don't think that Kylan Granson should be allowed to wear a chest pad or a helmet. And whenever Jacob Eason throws to him, it's bricks and not footballs. This will guarantee he catches that darn thing. All right? Or he's going to get knocked out. Because he had 4 drops. Well, he had 2 drops. Yeah. And 2 that were, one that wasn't necessarily catchable, and one that could have been, but it would have been a really good catch had he caught it. But 2 of them were just straight drops. Okay? And we're seeing this a lot from Granson right now. It's becoming an issue.
I was going to say, we sort of mentioned that throughout the week, just seeing him in training camp, that he just seemed to be not fully connected and stuff. So, like they say, you practice as you play, and I felt like that's what we saw in camp, and we just got more confirmation again yesterday.
Company says that that was from the broadcast that he saw. He didn't have a replay, so he was just going by the live read. And I don't know if you got Company Eagles. I don't know if you got Twitter, But I actually post big plays, every big play that happens during games on Twitter, like the full clip of the play, and you're able to, and I kind of point out things, and I pointed that out, and from what Loyalist was saying before I posted that, everybody was saying that was not on Ellinger, but now there's a lot more people out there saying it was. And it was 100% on Ellinger. I mean, yes, I get that the receiver ran his cut on the route a little deeper than what he should. It was a little shallower of a cut than what he should have done. But Ellinger should have never threw that ball. First off, he should have never threw the ball. If he was staring at him the whole time, and the corner was draped over his back already, and then you already know his release is so slow. He's got to throw a ball as soon as he looks at a player, so that it's not telegraphed. But man, on that play, he telegraphed it from the snap all the way to the end of the interception. But yeah, man. So, what else do we want to talk about, man? We're about 46 minutes into this, and
I just like to let everybody know, if you didn't already hear, next week with Carson and these guys getting back, we're going to start getting that initial testing to see how these guys are looking and see how hard they can be pushed. And I mean, I don't know what better news you could ask for after a win on Saturday is to hear that, you're getting 3 of your stalwarts. And yeah, I understand that they're not going to be, fully active and stuff, but at least we will be able to get a better idea, over the next couple, week and a half or so, as far as how far they are in their healing and stuff. So I'm interested to see how that all pans out after. I think we'll get more information on that after the Detroit game, but see where these guys are and get a timeline and hopefully get an idea of what the Colts are looking at as far as especially Carson and Quentin, because I'm pretty sure that
Kelly will be fine.
Kelly will be back week 1, but
yeah.
The other two, I think, is the more question marks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Especially with the fact that, I mean, Nelson was wearing a boot all the way through last week, and now he's going to go out there and practice. Okay, that's interesting.
Of course he is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I want to know what Quentin Nelson's rehab is. Does he throw Legos on the floor and start jumping up and down on them? I mean,
He just starts kicking bumpers with it.
Yeah, right. I hope they get to play week 2, if not week 1. KDC City says, and I think they'll definitely be out by week 2. Week 1 is questionable. Generally, you want 2 weeks of practice, and this is something that every coach feels. 2 weeks of practice before you start an NFL game, and I mean, it's not technically an NFL rule, right? But it's more of a coaching rule. It's more something that no matter what team you go through and look at, they're not going to just throw you out there without some kind of practice to get yourself up to speed, because no matter how much you're working out at home, that doesn't mean that you're up to, your body needs to take some hits, in practice and things of that nature, so that it's not just this massive shock on you when you go into a game, and you get lit up. Wentz season, what's up? Appreciate you being here. Guys.
Do you know what? Do you know what their schedule is after camp closes out? For the week and a half, 2 weeks after camp's finished up?
It is on Colts.com on their practice list. So it'll say what times and when, what days. Just like, where you go to the training camp thing.
Yeah.
But
and they just got that up and running again too, I found out. So that was awesome, because they've had their app was down for like a month and a half, 2 months, and now they just did an update on it a day and a half ago. So
Company Eagles, let me help you out. There is a Reddit site where you can watch games. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of stinking ads. Okay? There's a lot of ads. And I get, you said you're in Wisconsin, so you get Green Bay games all the time. I understand that. You'll be able to watch any game that's live, period. End of discussion. All right. But like I said, it's one of those sites, right, where you click and an ad pops up and you got to close it out. And then you click again and an ad pops up and you got to close it out. But there is sites like that, and Reddit has one of their very own. And I just completely gave you everything that I normally do. Okay, that's awesome. I opened up the wrong tab and streamed my quick links to everybody out there watching. But let me tell you exactly where this is. There it is. All right, and I am trying to find it, and there it is. All right. So it's live-nfl.net. All right, that is the Reddit site. And like I said, you know, it's not ad friendly. But once you get through those first few clicks and get those ads out the way, you're good to go. You just find your team, click, go over here, hit watch now, scroll all the way to the bottom and hit play. That's what I had to do a few times. So, you know, in my past, but I'm not going to put that out there on like Twitter or something generally, because if I do that, then, you know, it might end up getting shut down. So I don't want to do that. But for all of you who don't live in the Indy area and don't get all the Colts games, you can go check that out. All right. And since we're also 50 minutes into the live stream, I doubt YouTube's sitting there looking at it going, well, he just gave away, you know. It's all good. It's all good. All right.
I don't know. I don't know if you can get it through the Colts app, but I know, you know, here locally we can get the live streams. I don't know if that's something that they can get, you know, out of other states or not.
Well, I know that like the Colts.com, you can listen to it. The radio broadcast is free on Colts.com, but they don't have the video. They might have the preseason games, but they don't do the video for the live season unless you pay a specific amount of money.
Okay.
KDC City with a donation in the box down here. That little donation box. My boy just used it. $3 in a donation box. Thank you so much. In the jar, I open up the piece of paper that's in the jar, and it says Davenport played well. Do you see him starting instead of Tebby and Holden? Because Tebby looks horrible. I'm going to leave that to Loyalist.
I'll tell you right now, I absolutely see him starting over, you know, those two. And quite honestly, I know the finances say that, you know, you keep Tevy because of the cap hit and stuff, but I don't even know that he makes the roster. I mean, it has been that bad. Even when they put him over on the right side, you know, you think, okay, you put him over on the right side and he'll be able to fare better. But, I mean, honestly, he did. The guy was getting beat on both sides, and Holden, I mean, Holden didn't have a whole lot of shining moments, but as much as I'm surprised and pleased and, you know, embarrassed that I didn't give the guy a chance, Davenport was my, you got to be kidding me guy. And he's kidding. You know, he's proven to be, thank goodness that Ballard, you know, smarter than I was once again. You know what I mean? Because
are the Colts, when it comes to left tackle, are the Colts kind of in a similar, like, as us as fans? Are we in a similar situation like we are with quarterback? A little bit, you know, spoiled, right? I mean, because left tackle, we've never really had issues. I mean, we ended up losing our previous left tackle with Peyton Manning. What happens? We end up getting AC, right?
Yeah.
And we had AC for years. And now we've got an issue at that tackle position, and, you know, we're talking about Tebby, who was a starter last year for the Chargers, right? Yeah. And, I mean, granted, he wasn't the best, but, I mean, he was their starting. And if he was the starter, imagine what their backups were. Was it LaRaven Clark's little sister? I want to know, okay?
As far as are we spoiled, I would have to say no. And yes, we're spoiled because we've had these excellent players and stuff. But I will say that Tevy has looked bad enough that you don't want to go into week 1 or God forbid, week 2 against, the Rams and that defensive line. You don't want Tevy. And there's a reason the Chargers let their starting tackle go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that going in, but I was of the thinking, oh, well, at least he's got a lot of game reps, and if he was good enough to be their starter, he's going to be awesome, for a backup. And that's really what I went in thinking about this. But I'll tell you right now, I mean, I've said through seeing him at camp and stuff, Tevy has done nothing but just beelined himself into third or fourth place in that race. I mean, he has just not been good at all.
No,
Like I said, even when they moved him to the right side, it was just
he has
not
issues
good.
with speed. That's
Mm-hmm.
the issue. Power wise, he can handle power, but man, he can't handle speed around the edge. And I've said it from the get go. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and you can't really put Tebby in at guard as like a backup guard. I think he'd perform well, but the dude is like 6'6". All right. And if we happen to have to put Sam Ellinger in, you might as well put a blindfold on the kid, I mean, because you'd have 6'6" Tebby and then 6'5" Quentin Nelson, and he'd just be like, I can't see nothing.
Mm-hmm. Especially Ellinger. He's
right?
Like, excuse me.
Yeah, spread your knees, I can see you better.
Yeah, okay. And something else about the Tevy thing is, and I fully thought that we'd see him get out there, and I knew that he would be a liability in the past, but I haven't seen him produce even in the run game all that well. I mean, we really, our running backs haven't had a great deal of room to get any yards of consistency.
No,
what I mean?
Our entire starting offensive line hasn't been playing though. I mean, I'm not too worried. I mean, it's not like we're going to see this during the regular season. We're going to have, at least 3 starters out there week 1. Probably 4. I'm going to guess either Fisher or Nelson is starting week 1. Either one, maybe both. Maybe not. But probably one or the other, So, I mean, our offensive line's going to be better. We're going to be in a better shape.
Now, since Fisher's not getting the nod to start this week like he is with the other 3, wouldn't you say that that's probably less likely that, he's ready week 1?
Oh, well, he's on a different type of run, though, okay?
Right.
So, he's on more of a long-term stretch. It is less likely, but at the same time, when it comes to Fisher, because he's on that long run and he's coming towards the end of that long run, they already said that they're ramping up his stuff, that his on-field stuff will be ramped up this week. They just haven't said, if he's going to be wearing a jersey or not, Yeah. I assume he might be, but we'll see how that works out because, we are closing in on that time frame from what the Colts and the Chiefs were saying and the doctors, from the reports that was read about it, that he should be coming out here pretty soon. So we'll see. All right. We had three $3 donations today.
Appreciate that, fellas.
3. I appreciate that a lot, man. Thanks so much. Guys, I think we're going to end it. We spent an hour and we kind of just talked. It was a blast. I think we're losing viewers too, man. We're running around 10. But I appreciate each and every one of you that came in, gave us your thoughts, your opinions, asked your questions. Don't forget, we'll be here at some point too. Company Eagle says, I just followed you on Twitter. I was suspended for 6 months and no reason except being a pro military business. So I just got back on. All right, man. Appreciate the follow. You can go through my feed, man. There's a whole bunch of clips from last night. At least 20 play clips that I put out there. But anyhow, All right, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks again, Loyalist, for taking time out of your day and joining us and talking football.
I appreciate the talk.
And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist. And as usual,